Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing? It's Middle-Aged Gamer Guy here, also known as Mag. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about all the latest gaming news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. How is everyone? How has your week been? Let's see who's here. First one here, even before we went live, was Gozzo. Good evening, Gozzo. Gozzo's also been rewarded a 35 stream streak. So you've got 450 Mojo Bytes. Congratulations, Gozzo. Kindred, good evening. How are you? Good, sir. Loopy Lulu, good evening. How are you? You've also been rewarded 450 Mojo Bytes for a 7-stream streak. So thank you for your constant watching of the show. Greatly appreciate it. Good Game Dan, hello. How are you? Good to see you. Danka over on YouTube says, evening, hoping for no internet blackout this week. Yeah, fingers crossed. Danka, bless him, was watching the show and halfway through last week's show, his internet went off, so he wasn't here for the rest of it. And everyone was wondering where you'd gone, so it's nice to have you here. Flame, good evening. We got Kim. Hello, Kim. How you doing? William over on YouTube. How you doing? Retro Jazar, hello. One of our regular YouTube watchers, but now been converted to Twitch, so I appreciate that. How's it going? Big Fuzzy Panda. Hi. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. What happened to my nose? I've cut it somehow. I only found that out there. I've cut it somehow. God knows how. I only discovered that like 30 seconds, well, half an hour ago, 30 minutes ago. So yeah, I've got it's a little red. I've cut it. Don't know. Shouldn't just keep punching myself in the face, really, should I? Probably, what is it? Gozzo says, and good thanks, been playing Disney Speedstorm and chilling out. Good, mate. Big Fuzzy Yak. Hello, the other half of Big Fuzzy Panda, or the other way around, if that makes sense. How are you? Good evening. Lovely to see you. Dan says, good. Hey, Mag, can't stay long, but we'll be here as long as I can. I appreciate that. Thank you. Gilfly, good evening. Welcome. Stop walking into doors. I wish. Probably been one less painful. Don't know. Do you know what? It's probably those new glasses I've got to keep catching them. But I'll get used to them. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, lovely to have you here. Before we get started, I do have to say, because I am contractually obliged, that we are sponsored by the mobile and PC game Galactic Frontier. A number of you have been playing that game already in the Twitch chat. It's !Galactic. It's free to play. Download the game. There's a number of challenges that we've set for you to play between now and the 25th of Feb. And every time you complete those challenges, it helps basically pay for the electricity to do the show. There you go. So the link is there for you on Twitch. And do you know what? I'm gonna cleverly see if it's going to allow me to copy it over to YouTube, because sometimes it just does and sometimes it doesn't. But I'm chucking it in there for Kim and William if you fancy playing that. Oh, it's working this time. And Lorraine, hello. Loving the haircut and the shave. Thank you. Yeah, literally this morning I thought I'd be a bit more prim and proper for at least 2 days before the stubble comes back and everything else. So there you go. So thank you very much to our sponsors for doing that. Lulu says, I've been enjoying the game. She's at level 11. There you go. Well, if that doesn't say, look, it's got, I quite enjoy it. I think I'm level 6. I'm way behind you, but appreciate that. But it's good. It's good fun. If you like space exploration games, then go give it a whirl. It's totally free. So there you go. Obviously, I can't do this show by myself. I need someone who's a fountain of knowledge of games. And that can only be one person who's been with me in over 250 shows. It's the one, it's the only, the co-host that knows the most. It's Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. I almost didn't recognise you with the shave.
Yeah, I know. Other rock musers just said the same thing. She's like, who is this? Just like, might be a completely different person presenting the show this week. But there you go. Yeah, there you go. Anyway, happens once every 6 weeks. I'm that kind of lazy person. It's like, shave, haircut, done. Do it again, rinse and repeat. I don't recognise this man. It's like, would you trust this man either? I know, that's another question.
Nope.
Mags looks like his own kid when he shaves. I like that. It's a good thing I ain't got any kids. I've got the dog. Are you saying I look like my dog? Possibly. He's probably better looking than me. He's naked. Not that naked. Kindred, shave. What's that? I mean, Kindred's got a very impressive beard, so we know that. Anyway, someone who's not got a beard, and unfortunately not much hair, is my co-host Dave.
Complete lack of hair.
No,
I should have got a long beard just to make up the lack of hair. But
yeah, but we wouldn't change. You've always been nice. We wouldn't have it any other way. And besides, the chat loves you with all the exclamation Dave in chat if you want to cheer him on. I know some of you already done that. But yeah, how have you been? What you been playing?
Oh, I've been good, thank you, mate. It's been busy with family and work. Managed to get a little bit of gaming in. So I played Cairn. I won't talk about that now because we're talking about that later on. But apart from that, it's just been Battlefield 6 still. I just found myself, going back to that. Very, very good shooter. Still waiting for season 2 to drop, which I think is middle of this month. I think 17th.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So they've thrown like a few things to keep us like appeased at the moment, like XP boosters and stuff like that. You can run for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Extra little battle pass thing. Not that I bother paying for the battle pass. I had the free bits off it, but I'm not spending any more money on that because it's generally not that good. But they're just throwing little bits and pieces just to keep you sort of entertained while you're waiting. But it's the new maps and stuff that we're waiting for in season 2. So hopefully they'll be good because I've got some favourites from season 1. Yeah, it's been good so far. So hopefully the next couple of maps, the next one will be good and will keep me playing it even longer.
You'll have to let me know because obviously it was in your it was in your top 5 games of the year. So you'll have to let me know whether it's going to still be steadily doing very well for that.
Yeah, hopefully so. I mean, this is probably the longest I've played a multiplayer shooter for ages. I usually like playing for a bit and then get bored of it and move on, but I'm still going back to this one.
That's good. That's a good sign. But yeah, it's funny. It's funny because obviously we are going to talk about the top 10 gaming chart retail sales, and when we talked about it 2 weeks ago, its main competitor, obviously the new COD, was in there. It's not in the top 10 anymore. So just saying, just shows you how bad the last COD was because it just wasn't good.
Not a good one.
No, it wasn't a good one. But there you go. I too have also obviously been playing a game that we're talking about tonight. And yeah, I've fallen in love with that game. I'm not going to lie. But I will say why later on. And I'm still playing MIO, which obviously we talked about on the show last week. I've been playing that for 2 weeks now, and it's a great Metroidvania. It's a really good Metroidvania. And even though it's very weird at the start because it doesn't tell you how to play it and you have to figure it out and there's no instructions and you don't even know what the controls are, as you are progressing, it's like, okay, I'm learning what this is doing. And Kindred said because it's wank. Is that the COD or the game I'm talking about right now?
I think it means the COD.
Yeah, and let's hope it's COD. But it's an interesting one because now some of the boss battles with some of the abilities that I've got, thank God for that, Kindred. They're really, some of the bosses are getting a lot easier, but then you have to redefine and tune what you've got because then some of the boss battles are quite difficult. So I think I've opened up more than 70% of the map. So I think I'm only a few hours away from completing that.
You do well, mate.
So I am enjoying that. That's a good game. So go check both of those. Well, MIO's on Game Pass, and I say we'll talk about Cairn in a little bit. But should we move on? That's enough talking about games we play. Yeah. Shall we get our guest on?
I think we should.
So this is the first time we've had this guest on. I had the pleasure of working with her back last summer. As you know, I was working the Bloodstock Metal Festival with the gaming arena. And from this, I didn't realise that the team that ran that are also the same people that run the very excellent Guildford Games Festival. Now, I've heard about Guildford Games Festival quite a lot from other people. Now, we had the lads from Debug Magazine on the show last week, and they've obviously attended it many a time and was singing its praises. There's the link if you want to go check it out. That is in the chat right now, and you want to see. But we are going to talk a little bit more about it by bringing in one of the people that runs the show, and that is the very awesome Lauran Carter. Please welcome Lauran from Guildford Games. Here we go.
Hello. Mate.
How you doing?
That was so sweet. I just got a little bit emotional listening.
Oh, bless you.
That's beautiful. Hi, how's things? You all good?
Yeah, very well. How are you?
Good. I'm exhausted.
Oh, I could probably say because you are 3 weeks to go. Not trying to put the fear of God into
I'm okay.
3 weeks close to the show, so I can guess it's frantic, but all coming together. And
it's like that part every year that's just like muscle memory. We all know that something happens to enable everything to get finished, but no one actually knows what it was. We've put the finishing touches pretty much on our schedule and put that live today. We've been making speaker announcements, and now it's just, the slightly smaller task of actually running the thing.
Yeah,
making sure everything runs fine. We will be welcoming with any luck, around 4,000 people to G Live on the 20th of February. And it is an absolute riot. It's brilliant. We have so much fun. Yeah.
This is going to be my first time attending, so I'm very much looking forward to it, because obviously I know a lot of people have told me about it over the last couple of years because they've attended. So I can't wait to go. And it's also technically really one of the first gaming events that kickstarts the year off, isn't it? There's never ever seems to be anything before it that's of this size anyway. That,
my dude, is the reason that I have to have a festival in February, because the rest of the year is pretty booked up at this point.
Yeah, it's I'm going to say this, it's an odd year, because it's nice because you're kicking things off, and then our guest next week has got an event the week after you.
Nice.
He's down in Bristol, and then March seems to be just DreamHack. And then April's mental because you've got London Games Week, obviously, and lots of other stuff. And the lads from Debug have got their event. And when there's some other events, we've got guests on for future episodes talking about that. And then it just goes dead for like 3 months. And then there's a load of stuff near the end. Whereas last year, it all seemed quite nicely spaced out.
That's
but it was non-stop. Literally, it's like spring. Have all this.
Yeah, but this is it. But then within the industry, so I mean, my role is so I've been working in games for, I joined the industry in 2008.
Yeah,
I think at EA, and I've worked at Cody's and Lionhead and Media Molecule and all of these amazing studios within the industry. We have, because no one releases games in the summer, really. All of our events happen between May and kind of August. So you're kind of kicking off with, you've got the few that are starting in the next couple of months. But then once you're into your develops and then into Gamescom, like the year just disappears. Like it's just gone. It's astounding. So yeah, we host it in February, and it's freezing cold, and everyone hates having to get all their equipment into the venue, and no one goes outside very much, and that's fine. And then we all go down the pub, so it works out in the end.
Sounds like a plan. It sounds like a plan. I'm going to bring up the website for people to see. Now, this website's already details are already in my Discord for anyone who's a member of the Discord, so you can find how to get tickets and everything. It's been in, I think, been in the Discord for a couple of weeks because I list all the different events that are there. But let's just show everyone the website. Ta-da! As if by magic, there it is. But there are. Am I right in saying there are tickets still available?
There are tickets still available. Yep, and they are very, very reasonably priced. We've actually put a very small fee on them this year, and it's really just because Guildford Games is a not-for-profit. Everything we do is funded by our sponsors. So the whole event itself, everything that happens at the Guildford Games Festival, is funded by Supermassive and Hello Games and 2 Point Studios, and all of the local game dev studios pledge an amount of money to enable us to be able to do this. So it's become very much a community thing. But yeah, we've been making the announcements, and that's is that out of date? No, I think that's right. No, that's good.
Because you said Hello Games 2 Point Supermassive, so
I'd
quickly scroll up.
It's good. No, we're good. The thing is, not for profit life. You know, we all, my colleagues and I at Liquid Crimson and a few other people that are involved in organising the festival, we all do it in our spare time. We've just got loads of it. It's just kicking around. So it's very much a labour of love. Everything that is done on volunteer time, and that means that sometimes the website may not be as up to date as I'd like it to be. But currently, I think we're good. We're all good.
I'm going to not show anything that might be. I think
it's all fine. I know the schedule's all fine.
Yeah, well, that's funny enough. I was going to click on that next, so that's smooth moves. So you've got obviously, as you said, it's quite a big venue because you've got a number of rooms. I'm just going to quickly skim down this, and then I'll go back to it. But there's like literally 5 rooms with all seminars and talks and panels on, and I'll quickly talk about all the stuff. But you also have games being showcased as well, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So last year we had, did we have Battlefield? You know, Battlefield 6 is made in Guildford.
I think you did, because it was on the thing on the. We're
very proud of that one. Very proud of that one. I think we may have had Battlefield, but you know what? I can't remember. But we definitely had King of Meat and 2 Point Museum before launch, playable on the show floor. I think 2 Point had its UK exclusive. I think that's how how we managed to sell that, because they definitely showed at Gamescom. So yeah, we show games as well, and it's as much about those kind of AAA experiences. We've had Supermassive come down with full VR sets and set everything up and get people involved. We have all of that stuff. We have opportunity for those bigger studios to get involved and show games, but we're just as much about the indies. So we get a huge amount of indie teams come and join us, and we offer, because we're a not-for-profit, we're blessed in that we offer our exhibitor spaces completely free of charge. So we're able to, once we've kind of covered all of our sponsors and everyone that wants to show something, and then everyone within the Guildford ecosystem that wants to show something, we then just say, who wants to show a game? Who really needs a platform to share something and get a load of people? And we tend to get a mixture of studios. They're very small teams, but studios that have got games that are good to go and on the show floor, come and play, everything's perfect, buy our game. But we get as much of the kind of, I don't want to say bug fixing, but experience fixing on the show floor as well. So people coming and playing and getting hands-on with stuff as well.
I think that's good, because you don't get many shows. There used to be quite a lot of indie shows, I'm going to say this, and then kind of COVID came along and completely scuppered it. And it seems to be a rarer thing now that if you do go to a gaming show, you will get a game that's there that you can play, but it's pretty much the same demo. It's rare that you get shows now where, one, the devs are there, and two, they'll go, can you play it? And if you find anything wrong with it, can you let me know? Because then we'll change it. And I like that.
So
I miss shows like that.
Yeah. And from the developer standpoint, like sometimes you just don't know, especially if you're working on, it's a smaller team and there's not as many of you and you all know the game inside out, and anyone that's testing it for you is friend or family, and they then end up knowing the game inside out. That kind of opportunity to get a game in someone's hands and watch as the developer and see them trip up on things that no one on your team's ever tripped up on. No one's ever found an issue with a certain aspect of it, but just to see it in someone's hands that isn't known to the studio can make a huge difference to all of it. So it's an absolute delight. It may be, GG is a real, like I said, a real labor of love, and it's a lot of hours, a lot of stress. And I miss my kids walking for the first time because of the festival. Just one of my favorite anecdotes. He's 3 now. So he was just over a year. And boys are, I don't know if you guys have been told, boys are late developers, apparently, across the board. Seems to be a thing. Girls get stuff done, and boys take their time. So he was really taking his time with walking, and it must have been this kind of time of year. And I was sitting up here and I had so much to do that I text my partner at the time and said, look, just tell him I'm not home. Tell him I'm not home. We're not even going to discuss it. He's too little to have an understanding of this. Tell him I'm not home, and I will come down and hopefully do his bedtime as soon as I can. But I've got so much to do. I've got to get it done. It was 20 minutes later, guys. 20 minutes later, I got a video of him walking for the first time. I was like, are you kidding? This is the first time I've worked late since he was born. And today, this is the day he chooses. So yeah, that was the moment that I realized that GG has to be as much of my legacy as my child. Otherwise it's going to make me sad.
Kindred said in the chat, we will do stuff the developers probably wouldn't do to see if we can break the game and feedback any issues. But that's the whole point. That's
it's good. It's good stuff. That's what we want.
Also, just spinning through some of these, some of the talks and panels you've got, obviously talking about indie success stories, casting voice performances, careers in games, how about getting your first role, how to work with Unreal Engine, working with soundtracks, making music for games, safeguarding devs and tech artists. I'm just going to this, getting into audio designs. Oh, the audio design still wakes the deep. I love that game. That was in my top 5 2 years ago.
So we are like, it's one of my favorite things about GG in general is because it's a community thing. People tend to identify bits that they like or they think they can enhance as developers, as part of the kind of Guildford dev community. And then they just run with it. So that audio track is entirely organized by Barney, who's the audio head at Supermassive, and 2 guys called Greg and Lewis, who are amazing. They work for Soundcuts, who are an audio studio. They work on all of these incredible games, but then in their spare time, they run networking and educational type things for people wanting to get into audio. So between the three of them, they know pretty much everyone there is to know who works in audio in the game development scene in the UK. And every year they pull this incredible lineup with just some of the best teams. Like to have we've got the Criterion.
Yeah, you got the Battlefield thing. Yeah, I've just seen that as well. Yeah,
just in conversation. They're just going to sit on a stage and have a chat. It's brilliant. So exciting. I love it. And then if you look at the main schedule, we have Amy Pejic, who's Battlefield 6 as well. But that first panel that we've got, still leading the game, Guildford's place in the global industry. All three of the devs that feature on that panel, being Amy from Criterion, Barry Mead from Fireproof, and Joe Kohler from 2 Point Studios, they're all up for BAFTAs in a couple of weeks. Every single one of their games is up for a BAFTA, and they were all made in Guildford in some way or another.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is mad. And then if that doesn't blow your mind, the panel after that, the Indie Success Story, will feature Peter Molyneux. He's not even headlining.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. There you go.
Like, it's nuts. I'm going to interview him and I don't know how to deal with it.
I've heard he gets a bit out there sometimes. So
that's what I want.
Yeah.
I've been sneakily in a weird, unintentional way. I've been following Peter around for most of my career, but I've never properly met him. I met him at the festival last year, but long story short, I cut my face open on a roller banner. So it wasn't the best time to be having a conversation. It was horrible. It was 7 o'clock in the morning. And then I had to, I'm touching it, stop. And then I had to host 3 hours of panels with my face flapping.
Damn.
Really nice. Yeah, it was lovely.
Curse you, pop-up banner.
Never again. I'm not allowed near them. I'm not allowed anywhere near them. Like everyone has banned me from touching those things. I was just trying to help.
Don't do it.
Yeah, so I've not actually met the man properly without having part of my face split open and blood everywhere. So I'm very excited about getting to have a proper chat with him. And my absolute games industry love was Lionhead Studios. I worked there for a long time. I worked on the Fable franchise. I absolutely adored it. And Peter is the reason that not only that exists, but that the Guildford industry exists in the first place. So to have him, he was our keynote speaker last year, and to have him on a panel this year and just have a chat with him is going to be so exciting.
Rock Muse has a question. Please tell me you're a rocker.
Yes. I believe I am. I think I am. I haven't got any music stuff up, have I? Oh, Ruben. Does anyone like Ruben?
Kindred's just, he goes, the creator of Fable. Yes, Peter Molyneux. Yes. It's just
this is the thing. Peter saw a vision in what Big Blue Box were doing and then acquired it as his own. And that worked out really well for him. So let's just stick with that. But yes, I know where you're coming from. I understand and know the lore of not only that game, but that studio like it were my own. And it wasn't, Peter didn't come up with,
let's just say he was involved.
But he got it on its very twisty way. Yeah.
And now he's got some weird block game that he presented at some Summer Games Fest last year, which was intriguing.
It's always intriguing when it comes to pieces.
You never have no idea what that guy's thinking, but it should be good.
It's true. I mean, you're talking to the girl that got obsessed with the cube and really didn't expect that to happen. So
unfortunately, the guy that won that never got his prize, though, did he? Bless him. But he did play it. We won't mention that in 3 weeks time.
We'll just talk about it now, okay?
Yeah, we'll just out of the way. It's
we
fine. Definitely
won't mention it. Yeah,
I doubt Peter Molyneux will ever watch this show, so we're fine.
I'll send it. No, I won't. Real quick, just as I wouldn't. That would be really dumb. After
no. Hey, I'm going to interview in a couple of weeks. Here's the thing we said about you.
Look what we said about you when you weren't listening. We also have on one of the panels in that room, we have Samantha Bayart, who's one of the voice actors from Baldur's Gate 3, sitting alongside Rich Keeble, who's one of the voice actors from Expedition 33, sitting alongside Mark Silk, who is like renowned old school voice actor who's done everything from like Johnny Bravo to the 2 Point Games currently. And actually worth mentioning along the lines of that, we don't just do panels and talks. We also have portfolio reviews, which are always really, really popular. This year, we're having a D&D one-shot that literally has space for 4 people to get involved, but with a renowned voice actor running it. So it'll be really, really cool. We have a few other bits and pieces going on as well. And then we also have the voice of the Tannoy from the 2 Point games.
Oh yes, yeah.
We get Jen Webley. She's my hero.
She is the wife of Matt Webley.
Mark Webley. Yes,
Mark
absolutely.
Webley, sorry.
Yeah. No, don't be. So we write a loads. Myself and Harry, who's the 2 Point writer, we write a load of specific lines that relate to either the panels that are happening or the exhibitors that we have or sponsors. We write some slightly tongue-in-cheek, pretty funny lines, and Jane then reads them out over the Tannoy for the day, which is and Mark Silk's going to be helping out this year because Mark does the radio voices in 2 Point.
Yeah,
so the two of them are going to tag team it, and
that's going to be fantastic. That's going to be great. I'll be walking around going, I know those voices. I know those voices because I played.
It's so good. Although last year, after the face incident, there were a couple of times when I was doing a panel and I'd hear, "Can Lauren Carter come to reception? It's time to change her steri strips."
Doctor needed in seminar room 1.
Exactly. Bloaty head time, everyone. Yeah, awful.
Right, I am going to drop the link once again for anyone who wants to get tickets. It is in all the chats. It's in the Twitch chat. It's in the mobile chat. It is in. I just realised that I could have actually just done it, and it would send it out to all of them. So let's do that. I'm making my. I'm doing hard work. There you go. Done. There it is. It's there in all the chats for everyone. So go click on that. Go get your tickets.
And tickets are only 20 quid. I started saying earlier and then got distracted.
Bargain.
20 quid, it's nothing.
Bargain. And it's 11. Doors open 10? First seminars
doors
11.
Open at 10. Yeah. Then we have our keynote speaker around 10:20, I think, who's Hilmar from CCP this year. Yeah. And then panels start around 11ish. Yeah.
And it all wraps up by 5 o'clock-ish.
Yeah.
It's the last few panels there.
That's it.
Big Fuzzy Yak says, "See you there." Yes, I will see you there.
Big Fuzzy Yak's on one of my panels.
Oh, awesome. She's I nearly said her real name. I'm not going to say that. She's wonderful. We love Big Fuzzy Yak. So she's awesome. So
absolute hero. Looking forward to meeting her.
Yeah. I did see that Big Fuzzy Panda said, "Oh, I know Lauren," said her other half. So I was like, okay. So it shows you what a small world it is. There you go. Yeah, sorry, I nearly slipped up and said your real name there. Yeah. So see you there. We might end up, just to warn you, Lauren, if me and Big Fuzzy Yak do see each other, there's going to be this random thing that we shout at each other very loudly. So I'm going to apologise in advance. It's nothing rude, but people might just stand around and go, "Sorry, what?" So
you'll probably be fine. You'd be surprised.
Yeah,
some of the things that happens on that show floor. I think you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. Phantom, good evening. I know you popped in while we were talking. She was like, "Oh, D&D." And Fury, good evening. Fury says, Nah. Molyneux invented. Dogs never forgot. Fair enough. That's all we'll say. As long as... I nearly said something else and I'll get me into trouble. I'm not going to say that. I'm going to stop myself. So, shall we crack on with the show?
That's crack on.
We're going to crack on with the show. Here we go. This is our 251st show. Tonight we are going to be talking about such games as Highguard, Cairn, and Code Vein 2. We're also going to be talking about why Dispatch, the wonderful game that came out last year, has been censored on Switch, and who's actually at fault for that, because there's been quite an argument going on over the last week. Plus, we've got the top 10 UK games chart, because we do give you different games charts every week, and some more games and news. What's the venue? Says Rock News. It is G Live, I believe. Is that right?
G Live. Yep.
G Live in Guildford.
That's the one.
All details are in the link, which I will drop yet again like that and make my life very easy because it goes to all the chats. There you go.
Well done.
There you go. G Live Guildford. There you go. Big Fuzzy Panda said. And because Nintendo doesn't like boobs. It's not just that. We'll get into that.
But that is a factor.
It is a factor.
That's up there.
But it's in there, but we'll come to that. But anyway, we will kick off with a game that actually came out a week yesterday, which was a game we didn't get to talk on last week's show because the reviews hadn't quite dropped. This came out on Monday the 26th on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. This is free to play. This is Highguard. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
Get ready in there. We're coming in. Let's race. Today, my destiny Detonate balloon. Reinforcing a wall.
Let's get this job done.
Some loot here. This one's got some bite. Attacking! Dropped an enemy.
Smells like you need some upgrades.
Enjoy.
Storm Brood. Shieldbreaker forming.
I have the shield breaker. Drawing fire!
This is the fun part! Calling in the siege tower!
Attacking!
Get ready in there!
Hiding in plain sight. Everyone with me, let's go!
Getting this bomb planted.
Let's show them who we are.
There you go. That is Highguard. And yes, holy crap, that trailer was loud, but that means we've caught your attention. Dave, this looks pretty good, but is it?
It's been received fairly mixed, I think, by quite a lot of people. It's for anyone who doesn't know, it's a new PvP hero shooter. They've been trying to do something, I think, a little bit different in the game mode they're presenting. It's what they're sort of calling like a raid, and they've sort of taken bits from a few different games. Like I saw Valorant get mentioned there, and it's taken bits from that, and let's say some other ones, and splitting the games like little phases that last like say like a minute or 2 minutes each. You got like set up defenses first of all, then go out, do a bit of resource gathering in a fairly big map. You're either like getting stuff from crates or mining crystals. Then you've got to go and grab that shield breaker, and then take that to the enemy base so that you can then break in there and try and destroy their base. And there's like one or two ways that you can do it. There's either like 2 generators to destroy, or one strange big crystal thing. Yeah, if you can destroy that, then it takes the base out. If you fail to destroy the base, it's rinse and repeat. And the games can either like be over in like 8 minutes or drag on for like 30, 40 minutes if you've got a lot of back and forth. But yeah, it probably could have done with some play testing first of all, instead of coming out as like a 1.0 release. I think a lot of people have said it could have done a bit of beta testing, some early access weekends for a bit of feedback, because one of the things I've already had is that those middle phases feel a bit sparse because it's these big maps and it's just been 3v3. But over the weekend they tested 5v5. They've now rolled that out properly. So you've got that as an alternate game type. So they are working on it, but it's kind of got that problem. It's come out in a busy multiplayer market. It's had one chance to make a good first impression, and it has kind of like failed with that. If you look at its player numbers on Steam, they've gone right down. There's only just over like 5,000 playing at the moment. Whether they can do enough to fix it up, work on the feedback and get those player numbers back, tough to say, because I mean people are already playing tons of multiplayer shooters. I mean I looked at this and I can't say it really appeals to me. It's not showing me anything that will pull me away from Battlefield, and there'll be lots of other people who are already playing a multiplayer shooter and won't really that interested to get pulled over to this one, because it just looks kind of okay, but not that fantastic at the minute.
It absolutely blows my mind that anything would launch without playtesting, like full weekends of getting as many people as possible into that game to stress test it as much as anything else. And the 3 versus 3 thing would have been spotted. So it's a bit like what we were talking about with the festival, getting it in people's hands, actually watching people that aren't familiar with it play it. Potentially, and at least getting their feedback if you can't do that. But that would have come to light pretty early that it was too sparse, that there was too much space. And there's a lot of games like this out in the ether, right? There's a lot of them.
It's a huge competition of, well, a huge market of competition at the moment. And the funny thing is, you say like, oh, well, should have thought that companies would have play tested it. But then there's so many games that we've talked about in the last year that have come out and have been a right state that have been similar to this. And we're like, is this the new standard now? Like, you know, it's really weird. It's a bad day when Dr. Disrespect doing an AI mock-up of being at the press event gets more headlines than your game. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that's not good. I love playing indie games and finding bugs for them. We did have Paul James, who's a games tester. He was in the chat last week. He's been a guest on the show. Don't know if he'll be in tonight. Hopefully, if he is, he'd love all this. I used to love breaking games. Sorry, alpha and beta testing. By the looks of it, we'll come to that in a minute. But Warzone and Fortnite are broken.
Yeah. I think there's another factor to consider with this one as well, with Highguard, which is the Jeff Keighley effect.
Yes.
Whereby everything he touches isn't turning to gold anymore.
No.
If you guys have noticed.
People said that earlier. They were like, there was two comments. Danka said, it isn't really holding on to its player count as much as its launch, which Dave said. Risky decision by Jeff Keighley to add his final position at the Game Awards. Fury said Jeff Keighley's new pet made it 2 out of 5 at launch. Was updated to the 5v5 days, now a 3 out of 5. Perfectly playable, but nothing amazing. And that's the thing. If you get a game that is, and we talked about this last year. Last year was the year of mediocrity in the game industry, where all these big name games came out and failed miserably. They weren't necessarily bad games. They were just okay. And this is why indie games were doing so well, because a lot of the big name titles were just like, yeah, it's all right. And all right doesn't sell anymore. Mind you, even excellent doesn't seem to sell because the budget's ridiculous. But this is the thing. So I am going to go more in depth a little bit later on in the news story, talking about Highguard and like kind of how its launch went and what they're doing and what they're trying to do to get more people interested. But for now, you may have noticed, if you've not seen the show before, the number of people are putting scores in chat. So we technically don't review the games on this show. I am totally not qualified to do that in any respect, because I'd probably slag everything off. But I would basically scour the internet for all different reviews, and I basically crunch them all into a nice average score. You may agree with the score, you may not, but if you guess it correctly in the chat, and I'm going to ask Lauren and Dave to have a guess as well, we will then give you shout outs. So we're going to have a look at see what people are saying. I also hear Jeff gave them the final spot at the Game Awards for free.
I'm sorry, I cannot for a second
believe that.
I cannot believe that.
Not
that.
Not when he charges, what was it, £12,000 per, what was it, or $12,000 per whatever minute or whatever it was.
5 minutes was ridiculous. Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
I don't doubt it.
But you never know. Maybe he did.
Maybe
I'm being harsh.
Who knows? I think we're all tired of the big companies firing all their employees, so we want to support the indie devs and the journeys making games they are passionate about. True. I did see one of the talks at Guildford Games Fest says what to expect in 2026. I'm going to put it on my bingo board. Ubisoft goes bankrupt.
Oh no, God, don't! Oh my gosh!
I know. I think it's likely to happen. So
it feels that way.
I don't.
It will get split up and sold up.
Yeah, I don't wish them any harm. I love a lot of their games, but I think that might happen. But just saying out there. Let's have a look what people are saying with scores wise. You can have halves and whole numbers, by the way. Big Fuzzy Yak, 7 out of 10 for this one. Big Fuzzy Panda, 6.5 out of 10. Brian, good evening. He said, thought it was solidly made and fairly enjoyable shooter. Not the type of game I play, though. 7. Hope you're well, Brian. Good to see you. Danker, 7. Gozzo, 7. It seems to be a Flame, 7. Retro Guitar, 7. Kindred, 7. Rockmuse, 6.5. iQuail, good evening. Good to see you, 6.5. Legendary JL, good evening. 7. Phantom, 7. Game Master, hello, Game Master. Good to see you as well. 6.5. It's 450k for a 1-minute trailer at Game Awards, apparently. There you go. Now, family finally sell the rest to 10 cents more, like it's probably going to happen. So, I'll start with Dave. What do you reckon this got, Dave?
I'm going to go for a 6.
Okay, going for a 6.
I was going to go for a 6.
You can have a 6.
Go for a 6 as well.
You can. You can do it.
Now I feel like I've just copied you. 5.5.
5.5. Okay. 6.5 from Lulu. Okay. And I'm going to say This is your last chance, folks. This is High Guard, which is free to play and came out on Monday, the 26th of January on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And iQuail says there's a lot of 7s and 6.5. I hate to be a mod on this one. Yes, iQuail. Sticky Knievel, good evening. 6. Well, let's see, because it got a 7 out of 10 on average. So it did all right. The reviewers have done it a good thing, and I'm really sorry, iQuail, because that's a lot of people you've got to give shout outs to. That's Phantom, Legendary JL, Kindred, Retro Cesar, Flame, Gozzo, Danka, Brighton from UK, GN Zoidberg, and Big Fuzzy Yak. Good luck, iQuail. You're going to need it. Those shout outs are going to be coming out as we speak. So, yes, 7 out of 10 for our first game. And we will talk about what the actual game players have been saying about the game very soon. But before that, our second game of the evening. This came out Tuesday last week on Xbox Series X and S and PC. And this is going to sound very bizarre, but it is the rightfully Barry Arms. Let's have a look at this. Dank says, okay, not what I was expecting. So this is a very sort of style of things like Enter the Gungeon, that kind of style. But Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one, please.
Yeah, this is a bullet hell roguelike, they're describing it as. It's a twin stick shooter as well. So you're playing as a little bear who I think is on a mission to try and recover some of his lost weapons. So you're going for all these procedurally generated areas, just trying to clear everything that's out there and grab upgrades as you're going, and you'll no doubt fail your run at some point. That's the purpose of these roguelikes, and then you'll get a chance to improve yourself for your next run. And then you get to go and try it all again, get better weapons, and so on and so forth. So you can get to the end store and hopefully recover whatever weapons it is he's lost. It looks all right. I can't say I was particularly grabbed by the sort of the graphics and the gameplay when I saw it, but it doesn't really look like my sort of thing at all. But I guess if you like a good bullet hell shooter, you might enjoy this one because it looks like there's going to be quite a lot of stuff to try and dodge your way through and probably show off your skills.
Okay, all right, Lauren, what are your thoughts on this one?
I love bullet hell games. I just love them. I love them, and this is so creepy cute. This is the kind of game that if it were the right time of night and I'd had the right amount of beverages, it would be an insta buy. Like I may even buy it twice without realizing that kind of, oh my God, I love that. What is this shit? This is brilliant. It looks absolutely awesome. I love indie games in general. I just adore, but games that have a really distinctive feel and tone and visual identity that, you even just listening to the trailer, you get so immersed in the music, even you just start to exist within it. I can still hear it. It's brilliant. And weirdly, it kind of reminded me, although not a bullet hell, reminded me of one of my favorite games of all time from my childhood, which was Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Oh, yes.
It has that kind of vibe to it. Right? That game. I just love that game so much. But yeah, I like that it's leaning into its charm and character rather than the technical spectacle because, we have AAA games. We don't need to see how beautifully a gun can fire a bullet. We know that. We just want to go crazy. And I love it. I think it looks great. I like a game where voice is almost more important than the polish or the art style or anything. Actually what it is, its identity is what's carrying it through, and that's rad.
All right. Okay. We've already got some scores from the chat already. So, chat, if you want to start guessing your scores, what did the critics give this? Big Fuzzy Yak said 7.5. Aiming high on this one, says Big Fuzzy Yak. Danker, a 6. Gozzo, a 6. Big Fuzzy Panda, 6.5. Kindred, a 6. Lauren, I'll start with you this time. What do you reckon this might have got?
I want it to have higher than that. I'm going to go with a 7.
Okay, going with a 7. Loopy Lulu says 7.5. Flame says a 6.5. Brian says 7.5. Dave, what say you?
I'll try a 7.5.
Okay, 7.5. All right, okay. So not your style of game, but you reckon this is doing well. So Retro Jazar saying a 6. Rock News saying a 7. Folks, this is your last chance. This is rightfully Berry Arms, which came out last Tuesday on Xbox Series X and S and PC. And if there are no more guesses in the chat, there's always someone that sneaks a score in just as I'm about to press a button, I can tell you that this got a rather disappointing 5.5.
No, I got my
Yeah. So I can tell you why. I read up on quite a few of the reviews on this. They said that sometimes it can be very unfair how you die, and it seems to be more based on luck than skill, which is a bit annoying for a type of game like this. Also, they found that it is very, very buggy, and it's yet to have the bugs fixed in it. So
there's still time. They can sort that.
They can make this good.
Give it 6 months, check it again.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It's the kind of thing that would become an absolute sweetheart.
Yeah.
It's got all of the right things to make it happen. It's just a little bit of politics.
I would still give this a go. This is one of these games where I'd be fair and give it a go. And it could be one of those things that actually it deserves a 7 out of 10 now. It's just that the critics have been quite harsh on it. And this is why I always say don't always go with what the critics say, So that's why we don't review, because then otherwise I'll just get loads of shit from people going, well, you gave that a 7. I don't think it was a 7. But there you go. So, complete opposite. iQual, you have to do no shout-outs because no one got that right. No one got it right. Big Fuzzy Yak said, bugs, it fixed and make it great. Got to see how much they love their game. Yeah, if they love their game enough, they will sort it. So, now, our first news story of the night, and I did say we were going to talk more High Guard, and it's exactly what we're going to talk about. So, 7 out of 10 is what the critics said for High Guard, but it's getting absolutely trashed by the user reviews on Steam with lots of negative reviews. Now, it had quite a good launch because it had over 97,400 concurrent players on Steam when it launched. But as Dave says, that's dropped down to roughly around about 5,000 in just over a week. It only really had 32% positive reviews on Steam. And people have questioned the design of the game, questioned how it plays, the fact that the maps feel empty, the fact that originally, before it got the update, it was only a 3v3, that there was a lot of downtime in the game, which was quite boring because you're having to go get this and get that. And whereas you watch that training, you're like, wow, that's action-packed. They're like, yeah, that happens in the last 2 minutes of the game or whatever. However, the devs have said, we are taking all the feedback on board. They've already launched a 5v5 mode. They are considering a 4v4 and a 3 versus 3 versus 3. I think I got that right. And they've already stated a roadmap for the next year. So they are confident that this game's going to still be around. This is not going to be a Concord. Okay, that's what they're saying. So, question is, and I'm going to put this to Dave and Lauren, this time next year, do we think it's still going to be around? Are we going to be talking about it? Will they have delivered on what they say?
If they couple that roadmap with really shit-hot community managers that know how to manage that community and keep them engaged and interested and start to feed their ideas in a little bit, then potentially, I'd say potentially. The absolute masters of that are 2 Point, who their roadmap is extensively long, and all of their DLC is really considered. But then alongside that, they do free updates that everyone is able to get hold of, and those free updates will be stress and play tested by their trusted community first and foremost. So those people feel really, really, emboldened and a part of it, and like they're in at the ground floor and making a difference. And because they are a lot of the time, it's not just that they feel like it; they feel like it because it's happening. And it's a lot of give and take is what you need if you want, a game like this to succeed. I think, that's what it is. This feels like it may be more of an expectation issue than a quality issue, and a good community manager can kind of pull those two things together and make them make sense.
Dave, your thoughts?
It could keep going with, like, say, a sort of small committed sort of player base, because I think since it's the small team sizes, it gives you a chance to like get yourself like a few friends in to make like a team. You go on voice comms, you can probably have a good time with it. So you might be able to get like a small number you all keep with it and keep it going, because I think they've said they don't need like massive numbers for it to be successful, profitable. So if they can get like a reasonable number of people sticking with it, then they might be able to keep going for a bit. But of course, it just depends, I suppose, what else comes out as well. So it might pull people away, because we know we've got Marathon coming up in a couple of months. Marathon
next month.
There's going to be more multiplayer shooters, inevitable. But I think ideally, if they're going to listen to feedback and take it in, they need to get people shouting about it, don't they? That they've done things and improved it. They need to word of mouth out there, maybe a bit of better marketing, because they just went dead silent after the Game Awards.
It's released,
and even that Game Awards
and a trailer like
didn't
that
tell you what it was. That trailer you showed, which is the one they showed for launch day, actually explained it a bit better. So you got a bit of an idea of what it is, but you didn't initially.
No,
it just didn't really help. Plus, you get all these people who just like to jump in with negativity and try and
and that's the downfall of Steam,
Sad.
right? There's no like middle ground. It's either positive or it's negative. I mean, yes, you can kind of do your neutral comments, but no one's really choosing for that option. They're going to go for the polarizing, because you either love it or you hate it. But it seems, I mean, I had a quick look at the Steam page before we went live, and it seems that the reviews are now at mixed across the board, as opposed to
so that's improvement.
Horribly negative. They're pulling it together. That's it. It really is like early acknowledgement matters more than perfection. Like pivoting, listening to your audience as much as possible. They're implementing 5 versus 5 permanently, etc. Full transparency on what you're doing, why you're doing it. You should be fine. As long as you've got a good product, then you should be fine.
You're right. Well, we shall.
I sounded
see
very corporate then, didn't I?
You did. That was good. That was a good answer. Perfect answer. There you go. Unlike Kindred's answer, which was just like, nope. So there you go. On Steam, it's averaging 3 out of 5. See, that's not bad. That's better than it was. So hopefully it'll bolster it. If they can stick with it, keep it going, who knows? Maybe we will be talking about it a lot more on this show, or talking about it in a year's time. Helldivers 2 is coming up to its 2nd anniversary, but not very soon. Let's hope this gets a first. So there we go. Moving on to our 3rd game of the night. This has got a big voice cast behind it. This came out last Tuesday on PC. And again, was a game, when you hear about it, you think, oh, this might be one type of game. But it's completely opposite of what you think, because this is called Earth Must Die.
In the name of Emperor Gargantua, I hereby claim your civilization for the Terranoid Empire. And if you resist, then I'll mount your ugly blue head on a pike and put your flying milk jug in charge.
That's it! The Terranoids have got to go! I can't take a moment longer living under these cruel, idiotic tyrants!
I do have one idea, but you won't like it. We rebel.
What do I know of rebellion? I have such lovely, soft, dictatory hands. And come on! I've got an empire to overthrow. This is taking ages.
A visit from the gods at long last.
Let me know if you want the windscreen wipers on or anything.
I am Snargler, master of the Council of Orgies.
You see now, don't you? Now you suffered under the heavy boot of a fascist empire. We'll have to kill them all.
There you go. That was Earth Must Die, which came out last Tuesday. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one. It's got a stacked cast on this one.
Yeah, it's got a pretty decent voice cast in there. Probably a number of people you'd recognise from various other games or TV shows. This game, it's a comedic sci-fi point-and-click adventure game. So you're playing as like a sort of fairly inept alien overlord who's, I think he's sort of lost the rule of his kingdom, but then he's sort of trying to take over Earth as well. So it looks all right. I watched a bit of gameplay earlier. It did look quite cool. Good animation to it, and has some good little comedy moments to it. So I think it looks quite good. You don't get a huge amount of point and clicks these days, or at least not ones that really sort of break through that much anymore. Back from when they used to be good back in the 90s. But it's nice to still getting made, and this looks pretty cool. And since it's got a good voice cast, definitely makes it interesting to check out.
Yeah,
so, I like the look at this one.
Yeah, I do as well. I like this. Lauren, your thoughts on this one?
I think it looks rad. I don't know how I missed this, to be honest. I probably should mention, like I haven't already, this time of year means that there's no time for me to do anything other than plan this festival and eat food and make sure my kid stays alive. So I missed this, and I think it's awesome. It immediately gave me like Double Fine, Tim Schafer vibes. Like it's almost got a Broken Age about it, which I really like. I think it's inspired, not only that they've gone after comedians for the voice cast, but that they're using them for the social marketing as well.
Yeah.
Immediately recognizable, immediately known. You know, you tend to those comedians that you love, you gravitate to them so hard, right? So it's so nice to see them actually talking about it. And yeah, what I really like about it is that it's kind of designed for the spectacle as much as it is to play the game. It's almost designed for people like me who don't have as much time to play games and watch other people playing them on Twitch. It's that kind of thing. And what was the other thing I was going to say? It's published by No More Robots. No More Robots are like renowned for making incredibly quirky but good picks. So I trust this will be a smash.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what the chat is saying, what they think this might have got. Danka says an 8. Lots of people saying this looked really good. Gozzo saying an 8. UK Zoidberg, Brian, 8. Lulu says, I'm giving this an 8.5. I love the art style and the voices are cool. Big Fuzzy Panda, 7 out of 10. Kindred, 8 out of 10. Flame, 7.5. Get your scores in chat right now. Dave, I'll start with you on this one. What do you reckon?
I'm going to try an 8.
Okay, going for an 8 out of 10 on this. Lauren, what do you reckon?
7.5.
7.5. Okay.
Just dancing around Dave. Dave and I are just going to do this little dance.
That's it.
We'll have to see if either of you are right. Flame is saying a 7.5. Retro Jazar is saying an 8. Rock Muse is saying a 7. This could possibly be probably the thank goodness you're here of 2026. I hope it is, because that game was outstanding. Matt says, evening. It's an 8. Hello, Matt. Welcome on into the show. Yeah, there you go. Evening. It's
an 8.
No messing around. No messing around at all. Folks, this is your last chance. This is Earth Must Die. This came out last Tuesday on PC. Get your scores in now. Big Fuzzy Yak saying a 7. And I can reveal that Dave, you got your first one right tonight. It was an 8 out of 10 on average. Well done, Dave.
Thank
you.
Well done, sir.
And congratulations to Retro Shazar, Kindred, Brian, also known as Zoidberg, Gozzo, and Danka. Well done. You all guessed it correctly. You're going to get shout outs in the chat. Big Jesse, good evening, sir. How are you, buddy? Great to see you. And now, as you know, Dave is not a streamer, or he hasn't got an event to plug. Computer Club goes, Matt. Oh, yeah, and Matt. Sorry, yeah, I forgot Matt, even though he came in with that. It's an 8, and I missed him off. Sorry, Matt. Sorry. So you can either give Dave a shout out if you're in the chat by doing !Dave, but I have to give Dave a shout out in a different way. Dave, how would you like your shout out?
You can start off with a bit of spinning on your chair.
Spinning on the chair. Lauren, this is how high tech we get with this show. So here we go for Dave. Yep. Shout out. Dave! There you go.
It was beautiful. It was perfect.
That's where all the budget goes.
Yeah, the very little budget that we have. So there you go. Thank you to our sponsors, by the way. So there you go. Yeah, congratulations to all those people. There's all the shout outs. Thank you for dropping the sponsor like as well. Budget, yeah, I know what budget. But there you go. Our next game. Now, funny enough, we talked about this slightly on last week's show because we had the lads from Debug Indie Game Magazine on the show, and the brand new magazine had launched. If you do want a copy, !Debug in the Twitch chat. But this is the front cover of their latest magazine, which came out last week. And this game came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And this is called I Hate This Place.
Lou? Where are you? Stop messing around. I'm starting to think this whole horned man thing wasn't such a great idea.
Who doesn't? The girl whose father offered his wife to the horned man.
I'm not scared. It's just, I really want to know the truth.
They do not see, but they hear the scrape of boots, the panic in a heartbeat.
I like that. Danker's got a fear of spiders. He said, "Oh, it does look like something I'll enjoy." He's like, "Oh, spiders!" in the game. So sorry, Danker. I should have warned you. I did actually check these trailers over. I thought I will mention that, and then just completely forgot about it. So my apologies. So obviously based on a comic book. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah. So this is an isometric survival horror game. So as you say, based on a comic book series, and sticking with the comic style for the graphics, which look pretty decent.
Yeah.
In the game, your character, I think, is stuck in a place called Rutherford Ranch, and there's lots of places you have to go and explore because you need to go out and look for resources, then so you can craft stuff to help you survive in the world.
Yeah.
It's got a day-night cycle to it as well, so you're meant to go out, do your scavenging during the day to set yourself up for nighttime when the harder enemies come out. It's going to be a bit of a challenge for you to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Looks quite cool, from what I can say. I like it, the isometric style that it's gone for, and the graphics look pretty good. And it looks like there's some decent enemies to try and fight there. So, yeah, it could be quite a cool one if you like a bit of scavenging for resources, trying to keep yourself going.
Yeah,
cool.
I like that. It's funny. I have been offered this multiple times, and I can probably still get a copy. I just can't find the time to chuck it in with the schedule.
Too many games, too little time.
There's so many games we've had to cut from this month's schedule. It's insane. But anyway, we'll see. But I might still download it and play it and see what I think, and then
worth a go.
Lie that I've streamed it. I didn't say that. Sorry. There you go. Lauren, your thoughts on this?
I'm really torn with this. I haven't played it. I love comics.
Mm-hmm.
I hate horror games.
So
it's a really tricky one for me. I couldn't even do the combat parts in the Walking Dead game.
Right. Okay.
That's what you're dealing with here. I had to hand it over. Had to outsource it. You can't do it. It's trying to get me all good. I only play Minecraft on safe mode. I was once traumatized by Supermassive, who made me play VR for an interview.
I was going to say, they're one of your biggest clients. I've noticed at the festival you've had them doing all their the Quarry was at the festival, and
we've got Will Biles again this year, who's ex-Supermassive. But yeah, they put a VR headset on me and made me play their last VR game, and I nearly fell off my chair. I jumped so hard that I lifted my chair up, and then I thought, oh wow, it's like being on a ride, before realizing, no, that's you're on a chair. Oh God, what are you doing? And the whole thing was filmed and put live on their channels. So I am awful at anything that has jump scares in it. I love the music, I love the tone, I love anything that puts swears on its end slate. It's my jam. But I'd have to, I'd play it for the story and get someone to outsource the scary bits. Anything coming at me and someone else can deal with it.
Someone on standby, literally just pass the controller to. There you go. Okay, all right. Well, based on that, let's see what people are saying in chat. Oh, right. Okay, let's have a look. Let's have a look. Big Fuzzy Yak says, I'm going to, because of Loopy Lulu's comment, as in 10 out of 10, the monsters are thick. I'm going to round up your 7.5 to an 8. Rockmuse says an 8.5. Danka saying a 7. Brian from UKG and Zoidberg says 7.5. Gozzo says a 7. Big Fuzzy Panda says a 7. Big Jesse says, we all saw you streamed it. Thank you, Jesse. I'll pay you later. Apparently, it's currently £21 on Steam. Thank you, Kindred. Honest answer is an 8, but personally 10 for the dummy thick monster. You've got an obsession with that. You can seek help. iQuail says a 7. It's a 7.5, says Matt. Kindred says, it seems as some bugs in the game may hinder the score, but I'll say a 7. Flame a 7. Retro Shazar a 7. Gilfly, good evening, mate. Go on, let's try a 7. Big Jesse says pay. Yeah, I was lying. Fucking hell, that's the first. True. So, Lauren.
7.
7. Okay. As we call it on this show, a safe 7 when you have no idea what's going on.
I'm not, that's it. I don't know which way this is going to go.
No. Dave?
I'll carry on the dance. I'll do the 7.5.
Okay. All right. Okay. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. Okay. Chat, this is your last chance. This is I Hate This Place, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And I'm going to say it one more time, is the new front cover of Debug magazine. Get your copy now. If there are no more guesses in chat, I could tell you that this got 6.5.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Now, Brian mentioned this where he said, let's just jump up where he said, it's got a nice graphical style, but I found the gameplay is a bit predictable. And I think this is the thing with some bugs in it as well. People kind of were like, oh, this is not as good as they were hoping for, which is a shame because I have been hearing about this game for quite a long time. Lulu's like, shut the front door. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So I'm going to say this, though. A 6.5 doesn't mean it's bad, people. A 6.5 means it's good, okay? It's just not as good as a higher score.
There's just a billion other things that it's competing with.
Yeah,
that's
in this world of IGN where a 7 means it's shit, that is not how we operate. Okay, no, so 6.5 is still good. You might have fun with it, but it might not be everyone's cup of tea. So give it a whirl and try it out. Seems to be the bugs on all versions, and somewhere they couldn't process. See, that would do it. If you get stuck in a part and you can't carry on, it's good, but it needs patching. Almost Roy Walker. It's good, but it's not the one. There you go. If anyone gets that, what I just said there, then
see what you see. Come on.
Yeah, old as me. Yeah. So there you go. Let's move on to our congratulations. Did anybody get that right? I don't think anyone said 6. I think so. No. So again, another night off for iQual. He's been really busy on 2. Not so many. Say what you see. Exactly, Big Fuzzy Panda. Say what you see. What's Mr. Chips doing? Don't answer that question. It's hypothetical. So moving on to our next story. And boy, was this a story. And it's in 3 segments. So please bear with me, chat, and Lauren and Dave, as we go through it, because this all took place over the space of a week leading up to yesterday. So Dispatch, which has been very much loved on PS5 and PC, as we know, came out last year. And last week launched on Nintendo Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch. But some people were like, it's censored. And it meant that the nudity and sex scenes were censored. And also a bit where you give someone a finger got censored as well. So basically, a lot of people that bought it on Switch weren't happy about this and started to complain. Now, Ad Hoc, who are the company behind the game, said we needed to meet a certain criteria with Nintendo, and therefore the game didn't meet its criteria, so we had to change it, and this was what we did. Now, in the PS5 version and the PC version, there is a setting that you can change. So if you want a more family-friendly-ish version, it does take like blur out and do stuff with the nudity and all this sort of stuff. You've actually got that option. With the Switch version, it is permanently on and you can't change it. And this is what people have a bit of a gripe about. However, Ad Hoc came back and said, we feel we've been a little bit hard done by, seeing as that Cyberpunk came to Nintendo Switch 2 last year, and there's still nudity in that, and there's a lot of gore and a lot of swearing, and The Witcher 3 that has nudity is also on there. So 2 days went by, and people started to not blame Ad Hoc, but started throwing shade at Nintendo, because they're saying, well, you let these games have it in, so why can't this game? And Nintendo responded and said, we do have platform guidelines, but we're not in control of what gets changed in the game. We basically state that if something's not quite right and it doesn't meet the criteria, please go back and do the changes that you feel would be sufficient, and then resubmit it. So it's actually Ad Hoc that actually blocked out the things and blurred the things for the version, and also changed that setting that you can't change on the Switch version. And Nintendo also stated that the rules are different in different countries for Nintendo. So Ad Hoc have kind of gone, oh, well, why is Cyberpunk allowed? Blah, blah, blah. No. Well, the full Cyberpunk version is allowed in the US and England, but if you get the version in Japan, it's different because the sex and nudity has been taken out, and beheadings have been taken out. So it's different rules for different countries. So yesterday, Ad Hoc came back and went, we fucked up. And they basically apologized to everybody and said, you have every right to be pissed at us. This was the actual what they said, because they misunderstood the guidelines. They assumed that by changing the game for across the board around the world is what they had to do. They didn't realize that it was only in certain areas. And the other thing that they said is, what we might have messed up here is, and we didn't realize, is that they had actually put a disclaimer that you were supposed to see before you buy the game, except it wasn't where it was supposed to be. They messed up, and Ad Hoc had put it in the about section, and therefore it looked like they were trying to hide, saying that there's this disclaimer saying that this is not technically the full version of the game. If you want to play the full version, it's PS5 or PC, blah, blah, blah. And this has nudity and some swearing cut out. They have fixed this as of yesterday. So before you purchase the game, the disclaimer comes up giving you the option whether you still want to buy it or not. But it has left a number of Switch users disgruntled that they've waited for the game to come on their favorite console, and then it's not quite right. And Ad Hoc have now fully apologized and gone, we messed up. Bit of a cock up, really. And I'm going to say this, and I want to get opinions of chat and Dave and Lauren. But it clearly meant that Ad Hoc didn't understand how Nintendo operates. I get that different platforms have different policies, different things, but it feels like that Nintendo might have been a bit of an afterthought, and it wasn't. They didn't get it. I don't know, and they're not saying this was Nintendo's fault, but they feel that this is all their fault, and I just find that a bit bizarre.
Working with Nintendo is a terrifying journey to go on, frankly. I mean, the thing you've got to remember about Nintendo, they don't need your games to aid their success.
No.
And they don't care because they don't have to.
Yeah.
They don't have to. So they get around. I mean, if you consider the amount of games that make it to the Switch and the Switch 2, the amount of games that are just in the store, right? They don't have the bandwidth to be checking every single game that is published on their platform. So they get around that with the most hardcore, the strictest guidelines imaginable. And if you stray even slightly away, game over. You might as well not bother. Like they would be more likely to pull their involvement with your game than they would be to work with you to try and make it happen. I did in my notes, because I didn't see the update that Ad Hoc had kind of the admission of ultimately, but I did write, these things are very, very rarely like a single villain situation. Is that you've got, if you're working with a studio, a publisher like Nintendo, you've got to jump through those hoops, and if you don't jump through those hoops, then it's not going to work. Like we made a while ago, when Animal Crossing came out, funnily enough, we made 2 Animal Crossing islands. Remember when there was like that trend of everyone having a brand, and you could go and meet Jared Leto on islands and all that kind of stuff? We, Liquid Crimson, my company, we got drafted in to help both H&M and Pandora create their own islands. And the H&M one was in collaboration with Maisie Williams, who we had to make in. A member of my team spent 8 hours making Maisie Williams eyebrows in games. That's my job, guys. It's a very serious job. Don't mock me. But even though we advertised, had big brands behind this, got influencers involved, had famous people involved, we did not engage Nintendo at all. Didn't mention him, didn't talk about him, didn't tag him, nothing. Because even if it's a positive thing, like the H&M one we were doing was all, I mean, it's a little bit tricky with the greenwashing conversation, but the H&M one was very much about sustainability and reusing of clothes and using the island as a visual, come and drop clothes off and pick up a new item of clothing that's been made from your clothes, blah, blah, blah. It was, ultimately a very positive thing, but we knew that the first sniff of it that Nintendo got, the whole thing would be shut down. Even if it was the best example, we were told by Animal Crossing fans. They don't want it. They don't need us. They don't want us. Just cut us out.
It's funny. There was another news story, which I'm just going to very briefly mention, because obviously we had the Grammys, and Grammys have had for a number of years best, like, sort of, not necessarily computer game music, but there are computer games involved. And a jazz band won this year because they've done this really cool souped up version of all the Super Mario songs.
Nice.
It's like a 5-minute song with it all condensed, and they play it, and they won the Grammy. Nintendo didn't get mentioned anything at all about that, and they were like, we're too scared to even approach them about it.
Can't even touch it. And
thank you very much. Get out of there.
I know we're going to get to, or hopefully we'll get to the UK top 10. That's the reason Nintendo don't give a shit. They don't give a single shit. We'll go into it, but they don't need to care.
It's interesting.
They don't need to care about other people.
Yeah. Dave, anything you want to add before we move on?
I think it's mostly been covered, but hopefully if they now understand, just different rules for different countries, maybe they can, just do what like Cyberpunk did, just do a censored version for the regions that need it. And censor it for, everywhere else. Well, I have to wait and see if they do it. Hopefully so, though, because it sounds like it's not really necessary.
No. And again, a game that I've not picked up, but it looks rad. Like as someone that adored,
it's one I want to play.
That looks like my kind of game.
Yeah, it rated really highly on this show, and everyone's been talking about it. I know loads of people have been playing it. It's got a lot of love. Unfortunately, I never got to play it last year, so I don't want to play it. I really want to play it. So, but it's a good one. So all I'm going to say is, if you are considering maybe get it on PC or PS5 instead, if you really want the full experience. If you're not that fussed about it, get it on Switch. It's fine. That's cool. Let's go. There you go. Let's move on to our next one. Oh my God, we've got a doozy for you in this one. I watched this trailer twice and was still sitting here thinking, what the fuck was this? This came out last Thursday on PC. And ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Don't Stop Girly Pop. Let's go.
You are Ember. And you will be their downfall.
Experience the rush that everyone's talking about. Don't Stop Girly Pop is the world's first Y2K girly pop arena-style movement shooter. And it's out now. Rhinestone your gun. Go all denim.
Your only shot at getting some damage going for the big guy, okay?
Save the fairies.
Ever since those big dumb robots, dude, came barging into town, they've been sapping the planet of all its love.
Ascending to go is armed and highly dangerous to shareholder value.
Featuring the hits you love from the Don't Stop Girly Pop original soundtrack. The faster you go, the more damage you deal and the more you heal. Just don't stop moving. Don't delay. Buy Don't Stop Girly Pop, now on Steam. Call 1-833-GIRLY-POP. That's 1-833-475-9767 now.
So that's a thing.
It's one of those games that I definitely feel I'm not the target audience for it.
What do you mean, Dave? Right up your street.
Oh yeah, I love my pinks and stuff like that.
So when I first heard about this, I thought this would be like another kind of Just Dance kind of thing. And I thought, okay, I could dig this because I love Just Dance, as people know. But no, it's far from it. It's a crazy don't stop moving shooter, but all sort of girly-fied.
Yeah, decorate your guns with rhinestones, stuff like that. You can decorate like your arms with different like fabrics and stuff like that. So yeah, definitely a very girlified fast-paced shooter, as you say. And you are meant to just keep moving through those environments because the faster you move, the more damage and stuff you do, quicker you heal up. I think it has got some sort of storyline to it where there's some mining corporation you're trying to take down on the planet where your character lives. You know, that's the main thing that's going on. Not that you get that from that trailer. It's just very pink and cheerful and full of rhinestones.
Yeah,
I'm sure there'll be a ton of people who absolutely love it, but I can say it's definitely not my sort of thing at all.
I reckon I'll give it a go. I think I'll probably give it a go. I love it. I love the aesthetic. I love that it's kind of leaning into the Y2K. I love, like it's becoming a bit of, I feel it's a bit of a tricky one because part of my job is that I get to see a lot of pictures, a lot of game pictures. I get to see a lot of games before they're released and working on them and blah, blah, blah. There's a real trend at the moment, not necessarily out, but we're trending towards more of the kind of holding a phone, the phone being part of the experience in some way or another, like it all kind of feeding into more than just an aesthetic, that there's more to it. The trailer, my day job is trailers, I should say. It's so close. It's so nearly there. Like you can see everything that they were aiming for, but it's not quite. It's not quite hitting the points that they want to point. And it could have been so good. It could have been so good. And even though I've said that I'll play it, my main takeaway after watching the trailer was particles. It's just too many. It's too many particles. How are you playing that? Especially if you're having to move all of the time. How are you then working out what's happening in front of you whilst you're like that? But it gave me Lollipop Chainsaw vibes, and I loved that game. So I'd probly go with it. It's missing a boyfriend's head, severed head on your waist. Exactly. Other than that, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah.
Right. I'm going to say this now. I will be covering the brand new Suda 51 game. Nice. Romeo is a dead man. I'm saying in a couple of weeks. Probably just save your money for that. Check that out. We'll talk about that on the show. I'm streaming that as well. But you know, rather play that than this. But let's see what chat are saying. I mean, a lot of people saying, what the fuck? Seems to be the thing. Rocknew says a 3. Ha ha. JL says a 4. The safest of 7, says Danker. Okay, so the score's going up. Gozzo says a 7. In fact, there you go. Fury said, feels like someone really liked a bit from a Suda 51 game, and what the hell, let's make a full game out of it. There you go. Lulu says 5 at most. Seriously, what the fuck? Hannah, good evening. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Flame says a 5. Dave, go on. I'll start with you on this one because I know you're a big fan of this game already. So,
oh yeah, loving it. Probably scored higher than people think. I bet it's probably a lot of people that like it. So I'm going to go for a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. Are we going to continue the tango, Lauren?
This is a really tricky one, right? Because this is made by a team of 2 people with a couple of bolt-on outsourcers. that's being covered by IGN. So that says to me that there's something else in it. And whether that's a story from the studio that I may not know, whether it's some kind of hardship on the devs that they've gotten through, or whether it's their just personal stories that are kind of feeding into it, I don't know. But the fact that it's getting a, 11-minute feature on IGN?
I saw that, yeah.
I'm gonna. What did you say, Dave? You said 7.
7.5.
7.5. Oh, I want to go high because I feel like it's gonna. Oh, I find 8. The dance continues.
Okay, 8 from Lauren, 7.5 from Dave. Retro Jazar said 5.5. iQuell says funk it. I'm going an 8. Big Fuzzy Panda 4.5. Kindred says 10. Nah, joking, not really. I'll say a 7. Dave Johnson, I haven't actually said hello to Dave Johnson tonight, so there you go. You can now do the joke that I was ignoring him. Blah blah blah, like normally. Dave says a 7 as well. Any more? This is Don't Stop Girly Pop, which came out last Thursday on PC. Guildfly saying a 7.5.
You know, another thing that might have fed into me being into this is that I was recently looking at rhinestoned Warhammer figures.
Ooh,
maybe it's all just kind of starting to amalgamate in my brain.
Ooh, so this might. There we go. Big Fuzzy Hat says 7.5. Dave says, no, Mag, I'm behaving tonight. Thank you, sir. I can tell you this. It's got a very safe 7.
That is safe.
There you go. Safe 7 out of 10. So there you go. Worth checking out if you like the look of it. But by the judging most of the people in the chat, they probably won't. But go check it out. I was laughing so hard seeing this game on Keymailer today. Oh, wow. Okay. Was it on Keymailer? I didn't know. But yeah, congratulations to the following people. Dave Johnson, you got it right. Kindred. Glad we didn't take your first answer, Kindred, because you said a 10. So who else said 7? Gozzo. Danker said the safest of 7s. And everyone else's scores were way lower. So congratulations to them. And I'm going to say this because I say this every week. Please do give a follow to all the people who are getting shout outs because they spend their time to watch this show week in, week out. So please do give them some love back because we greatly appreciate them. So there you go. Thank you so much for the shout outs. Let's move on to a game that we streamed last Thursday. This came out on PC, PS5. You've heard that Dave's been playing it. I've been playing it. This is the rather wonderful Cairn.
All I ever wanted was to touch eternity for an instant.
Hey, wait for me! I'm Marco. Nice to meet you. I'm not fooling anyone. There's no way I'll make it all the way to the summit. I'll come down before the end just like everyone else.
Why go up then? I'm just here to climb.
Climbing won't make a reach.
Like for all of us, this is the end of your journey.
There has to be a way.
Tell that to all those who died trying.
Get goosebumps watching that trailer, even though I played the game. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this, please.
Yeah, well, Cairn is a sort of fairly hardcore climbing game. You know, it's something that's been fairly sort of, I suppose, underserved in games and its mechanics, because usually it's just like press up or press a button and your character just magically jump from ledge to ledge, climb to the top. Yep. This one is really bringing it to the forefront of the gameplay. You've got control of like each limb for your character, so you got to like position yourself properly in the mountain, try and make sure you're not overstretched or anything like that. Otherwise, your stamina will suddenly go down. Your character can fall off. So it's really sort of going for the sort of more hardcore side of it, which is really quite cool. It works really well what they've done there. You can either just sort of let the game pick which limb you're moving next, or you can override it if you feel that you need to. But in this game, you're playing a character called Ava, who's a proper hardcore climber, and she is trying to climb Mount Kami, which has never been summited before by anybody. So this is like her mission. She's that sort of character who just dedicates her life to climbing. And you just get that vibe from her. And so you're trying to help her get up there. You've got to try and like plan your routes. And the game is fairly freeform in that. There's multiple ways you can climb up. You can go for a hard route, look for an easier one. If you search around the environment, you might find little maps that be left around that do give you an indication of where you can climb. And if you wanted to, you could just go straight for the climb, ignore a lot of other things in the mountain. But if you take the time to look around, there's quite a bit more there as well. Bumping to the people, you'll find like camps that people have left behind, things to look at there. There's like little hidden caves and stuff like that. There's just quite a lot to it, and it's got a really cool art style and good music to it. And I've really enjoyed what I've played of it so far. I think I've played about 4 or 5 hours, and I spent like the first hour in the initial like training gym, just trying to do all the training walls. Some of those are pretty tricky, especially like number 7. That took me ages to get that one right, but I managed to do them all. And then I started the actual ascent, and I'm still enjoying it so far. I'm definitely planning to carry on with this one. Loving it so far.
Okay. I bloody love this game. And I hark back to a couple of years ago when I was like, Christ, we're only in January, and have I found a game that's going to be in my top 5 for the year and stay there?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same.
And I'm like, this is something special. And I know we both loved Jusant, which came out a couple of years ago. That was that had rock climbing elements, but this is so more detailed in that respect. Even though it's quite simplistic in the way it does it, it is a lot more detailed in its climbing aspect. God, I love this so much. So I can't wait to finish this. And it's going to be, I consider it's been one of those games that I will go back and play again, because you can go so many different routes and try different things in the challenge. So yeah. Lauren, your thoughts?
Right, I'm going to be completely honest. When I saw this on the list, actually, the first inkling I had that this game even existed is when all of my Discord friends had it as they're currently playing. My dog is a Cairn. So that was my first thought. It's like, what is this a game about dogs? Because I'm in. And then when I saw it on the list to discuss this week, and I gave it a quick Google because I hadn't heard of it, incredibly, this is a complete honest bit. I did an internal yawn and thought, oh, come on, a climbing game. Come on. I then watched the trailer and got tears in my eyes. Like, it's so emotional. It's like Firewatch with climbing. It's
God, yes.
Like The Witness with climbing, or like games with added dread and emotion. Like, it just looks absolutely incredible. And whilst that trailer was playing, I just booted up my rig and thought, oh, I'll just check. Maybe I've got it in Steam without realizing. No, I haven't. Okay, I'll buy it right now.
Good call.
Yeah, it looks absolutely awesome. And what I really like about it is I love video games that force a different perspective. We all know what climbing is. We all know that people choose to do it in their spare time. I'm not one of them. It may not shock you to learn. But to actually understand it a little bit better via the medium of video games, that is so cool, to understand how difficult it can be, how treacherous it can be. I've also seen some of the deaths. It doesn't look all that pleasant when that happens. But yeah, I'm sure there are plenty of people that actually climb that would say there is fuck all realistic about this video game.
Probably, yeah.
But it forces our perspective, right? The rest of us that don't know loads about climbing. I love that. I love games that encourage failure. Like, that's how we make games. So why would it not be how we play games? But so many people don't think about it that way. And yeah, I love that, it's in a world where everything is happening this quick. This is a game that's asking you to sit and contemplate and walk and really think about what you're doing. And I've got so much time for that. And that there's, a wider appetite for games that make you think, for skill-based experiences that are unlike anything else you've dealt with before. I love all of that. So yeah, I'll be playing this for the next month or so.
I definitely recommend it.
Thank you very much for the recommendation.
That's all right. No, definitely. Let's see what the chat are saying. Big Fuzzy Yak, 8. Danker says 8.5. Legend JL, 8. Gozo, 8.5. Hannah, 8.5. Lulu says 8.5. Everyone seems to be really liking this game. Kindred, 8.5. Big Fuzzy Panda, 8. Rocknew says, I watched my mate play it. He's big into climbing, and he was delighted how accurate it was. There you go.
That's what we like to see.
Yeah. 8.5 from Rock News. But is it as good as Peak? Well, we'll have to find out, won't we? Dave Johnson, 8.5. I was thinking about streaming this game as my comeback stream. I really like the concept, and I honestly think it'd be a game I'll enjoy. Give it a whirl. Hopefully you won't be disappointed. Flame, 8. Anyone else in chat, get your scores in now. Lauren, I'll start with you. What do you reckon? 8 straight in.
You know what? You've made a good call by mentioning the IGN 7. Like, it's very rare that you see games kind of creep above that 8.5. Yeah. So I'm gonna make it a safe 8.
Okay,
that's where I am.
That sounds good. Dave,
I'll try an 8.5 then.
Nice,
8.5. Continue the day.
Hey, got the dances on.
Beautiful.
Dances on. Watching all this footwork, I'm impressed. Well, this is your last chance, folks. Get your scores in chat. This is Cairn, which came out last Thursday on PC and PS5. And if you want to see my reaction to it, the VOD for that game is on Twitch for you to watch.
Also, do we all love how Americans say Karens? Have you noticed that? They say Karens, not Cairns. It's so cute.
And you're like, what, those people that bother people? What? And like, no, not that.
Yeah, Karens.
Flame saying an 8 there. Right, okay. I can tell you that it's interesting you said about the IGN 7, because IGN rated this really highly. And so did GameSpot, and so did many others, because this, on average, got 9 out of 10.
Oh, awesome. Well,
I nearly said a 9 as well. I thought, stop it, Cassie, you're getting ahead of yourself.
Yeah.
Don't be an idiot.
Yeah. There was more 9s than 8.5s, but it was one of those that was very close. But yeah, both GameSpot, IGN, and a few of us think Gamer Ranks gave it a 9, and oh bloody hell, it's escaped me now. But yeah, another website I use. So there you go. Yeah, that's a good score there. Fair play, says Gozzo. Yeah. So did anybody say a 9 in the chat?
Don't think so. It was
they
8,
didn't. Everyone was like going 8, 8.5. So everyone was on the same wavelength. No 9s. There you go. There you go. Mods get a rest. So that's good. But yeah, definitely go check it out, folks. Definitely go check it out. It's worth it. As I say, the VOD of me playing it is available for people to have a look if you do wish to want to watch it. So our third and final news story of the night. We're going to call this the Xbox hardware death spiral continues. So figures were released by Microsoft to do with the Xbox Series X and S. And as we know, it's not been the best-selling console because it's way behind the original Nintendo Switch. It's behind the Switch 2. It's also behind PS5. But they haven't made had a good sales quarter since 2023 in quarter 4, where sales were only 3% up. And the whole of 2024, sales were down, sometimes up to 50%. And during 2025, it even got to some of the busiest months with the last quarter, which is supposed to be one of the busiest quarters because you have Black Friday and Christmas and various sales, and they were still 32% down on what they were. It's not been great for the Xbox Series X and S, let's face it. And we won't talk about the Game Pass fiasco that we had last year, but the fact that putting up the prices of the console twice, might I add, twice, has not helped either. Obviously, we have seen console prices rise. We saw the PS5 prices rise, but they've only done it once. So this leads to the question where Xbox were like, hey, you know, we've got a handheld now with the Rogue Ally and all that, which we don't know how well that sold, but I don't think it particularly sold well when you're paying 800 quid for it. You can get a Steam Deck for 200, 300 quid. £100. But we've also PlayStation and Sony saying, do you know what? We might wait till 2028 for a PS6 because we don't think the PS5's had the longevity that it should have got, which I think is a sensible move by Sony. Thank God someone's listening. Can we... Xbox still say they are committed to hardware, but at this rate, are they? Why would they? That's the question I'm going to throw to chat, Lauren and Dave.
I'm happy to lead on. Go on.
You carry on, Lauren.
Sure.
Yeah,
I feel like I've got a bit. Well, actually, do I? It's been a while. I worked at Xbox for many a year, via Lionhead and then Xbox International. I've been on stage with Phil Spencer. I've been trending on Twitter. That's how long ago it was.
Nice.
Thanks to my work at Xbox and some of the cool stuff that we got to do. I really genuinely am starting to believe that hardware is not a primary success metric for Xbox anymore. You know, I remember when Phil started talking about quite actively breaking down the what's wrong with me? I was going to say Gamer Wars, Console Wars. There we go.
Yeah.
In the end. When he would come out on again Twitter, as it was, and say that it's not important and try to diffuse all of the spats that were going on. I used to think that's really cool. That's really cool that this tiny, really insignificant thing. If you really want to play a game, you're going to find a way to play the game, even if it means borrowing a console or playing it at a friend's or whatever. But the Console Wars, it felt like they needed that little bit of water being thrown on them and calming it all down a little bit.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the position that Phil was stepping into. Now I'm starting to believe that the position was more bring it all down to exactly the same place, and then we can all have the same thing on different consoles at the same time. And I kind of miss the Console Wars, man.
Yeah.
Like it kept everyone really working hard to release the next best product. If we're all just releasing the same games on the same platforms, same hardware, there's absolutely no, kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Big step up to entry. Ultimately, if you've got a console, you can play the game. Then what's pushing all of the studios to beat their competitors? Is what I worry about.
It's a weird thing that in 2020 it still felt that it was relevant that you would, if you want to play everything on everything, you are going to need a Switch, a PC, a PS5, an Xbox. And as the years have gone on, I'm going, well, when we do get the next round of consoles, maybe I'll only just get one, because there's no point the way that this is going, the way this is shaping up. Xbox are chucking all their stuff onto PlayStation. PlayStation are chucking their stuff onto PC. And then you can then, actually, ironically, as I said, with some of the technology, you'll be able to play certain PlayStation games technically on an Xbox because of the way that you get it from Steam and that, and you're like, okay, the fun's kind of going out of it.
Well, that's it. And like, preference is cool. There's nothing wrong with preference. Like, preference is great. Probably shocking no one, I still describe myself as bleeding green, and it's just a part of my identity. My hair is not green for that reason. And weirdly, actually, as a side note, this year the Xbox booth at Gamescom was blue.
Was it?
Right. my colleague and I walked in there and we were just like, what Okay. Like, this is the next step on the dissolving of the console wars. Let's turn our branding blue. Like, what is happening? Yeah, the industry's changing. It's changing faster than the way that we can even keep up with working out how to measure success. But I think this is all about the dissolving of console preference, personally.
Okay. Dave.
Feed into it.
Yeah. Dave, your thoughts? And I'll see what the chat have said.
Yeah, I do kind of feel like it does feel like Microsoft is perhaps moving away from hardware that you'd buy to use at home. They have said they are still committed to a next-gen console, but from what you hear when they talk about it being like a premium machine and people speculate it's going to be quite expensive, they must know that it wouldn't sell.
Yeah.
Considering this console doesn't sell much, why release another one? Why go through the bother and make another one that's not going to sell? I mean, they do say, we've got chip deals with AMD for the next year.
Yeah.
But I wonder whether they might just move it into the data centers, boost up their cloud gaming side and Instead of getting you to pay one-off for a console, have you get another subscription?
Yeah.
Keep your subscription to us for your cloud gaming. All your Game Pass stuff is here. Just boost the price of that and do that. Maybe they'll go for that. Because I just can't see the point of them releasing another console, because it's just not going to sell.
No,
if they hadn't have lost the last gen, and people hadn't gone PlayStation and got all the digital libraries on PlayStation, they might have had more of a chance. But because people did that and had those libraries there, they were less likely to change this gen, which is a shame, because the Series X, it is a good bit of kit.
It is
I do like it as a console; it's really good.
Yeah,
but it's just. I think they stuffed it up last gen, and it just hasn't helped them through this gen, unfortunately.
I totally agree. It's funny. I'm an Xbox fanboy. I always have been, and I do use the Xbox Series X way more than I use the PS5. But I am kind of thinking, why would I need an Xbox in the future? That's the thing. Kindred says only put up prices at once. Not technically true, because in other countries it went up twice, just to clarify. But did bring out a PS5 Pro, so that would balance the Xbox 2 price hikes out in a way. But yay or nay, technically, they didn't bring out a newer version of the Xbox Series X or S, and they, in some countries, hiked it up twice, so that actually makes it worse. Fury, hey, you got to hit the target set by the board of 14% growth. Strawberry Lover, hello, Strawberry Lover, good to see you again. Said, bet you they might make a PS6 is happening. We know that. It's happening. There's no, and we'll get to PS7 at some point, and that is when Grand Theft Auto 6 will come out. Well, I can tell you, the latest Windows update has broken their Xbox Alley handhelds. I followed news on handhelds very carefully. Damn, okay, not good. So they've destroyed their own handhelds. I was always an Xbox kid, but as I got older, started using PlayStation. And proofs in the pudding, PlayStation 5s have been selling very, very well. So there you go. When the original Nintendo Switch from 2017 was outselling, the Xbox the first half of last year before the Nintendo Switch 2 came out, that says it all, really, doesn't it?
But this is it. Like, the Switch is just the perfect console.
Yeah.
Like, it's perfect. It's absolutely fucking brilliant. And it does this amazing thing, as other Nintendo consoles have done to a certain extent, but it bridges the gap, right? If you're 40-ish with a 3-ish-year-old child, the Switch...
I was going to go, and then
you can borrow mine.
Oh, no, put the hands back down.
You come around and babysit. You can show them whatever games you want on the Switch, apart from Bayonetta. It might not quite be there yet. It's this amazing thing that you can put in the hands of a child and get them to experience the almost very same thing that you experienced as a child. And then there's now the capability to play every other game you could ever imagine on that one console. I mean, even like before the Switch, Nintendo made their first loss in 2015. First ever. So there's a benchmark for how to do this. And Xbox and PlayStation, I know PlayStation are coming out on top a lot more at the moment. They've been vying for that kind of second place for so long, but ultimately Nintendo once again are killing it, and will probably continue to.
Yeah. Fury says, it'll be fine. It's the 25th anniversary, and in the year of our Lord, Big Phil, we are getting Forza. True. Gears, we hope. Halo, supposed to be. And a Fable game in the autumn. And it'll all be fine. We'll have to see, won't we? I've got faith in Forza 6, though. I will say that. I've got faith in Forza 6. I was fully there and have a child and went, okay, I'm not there. There you go.
It's fun sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah. I was almost that. We use the PlayStation as our main console as it runs better, especially when I'm using streaming platforms. And our Switch is the bedroom TV console as I play a lot more games on there. Evie, Lulu's daughter, also prefers the PS controllers to the Xbox ones. And the PS controllers
daintier.
Yeah, it's pretty good when you got all the sound effects. That was the other thing, playing Cairn on the PS5, when the wind's blowing, the sound comes out of the... I thought that was brilliant. And the little robot, the climbing robot that helps you. So, it's cool. So there you go. Moving on to our last couple of games, folks. Let's have a look at this. This came out on Thursday on PC. And this is City Tales Medieval Era. Couldn't tell that I almost forgot what game we were about to talk about at all there, could you? Always a professional.
In this verdant land of life and abundance, great cities are built and tales are told. A brave leader dreamed of settling a grand kingdom, and from the smallest roots to the largest innovations, it grew into a home that people came far and wide to join. They made this city their own with unique decorations. A sign of their prosperity. All of this was possible with the help of many skilled companions. Helping them to tell their own tales, they in turn wove the story of the city. Life of all forms walked the pathways, domestic and wild alike. Basking in the glory of wonders. This is the tale of your city, my liege. Where will you take us next?
Sing, sing and dance with me. The road is wide and we are free. Sing, sing along the new trails, and soon shall come the city tales. La 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 la.
When you only write 4 lines for your song and then you have to basically ad-lib at the end there. That was City Tales Medieval Era, which came out last Thursday on PC. Lots of people liking the look of it, even if it's not their kind of game. Dave, tell us a little bit more.
So it's a medieval city builder. It's been out for a while in early access. This is its 1.0 release. So this has had a lot of play testing with the community, so it should be in a pretty good state. And I think what this is sort of doing, perhaps differentiates it a little bit, is it's not been too sort of reliant on like grids for your placing your buildings and the structures down. It's fairly freeform in how you do the placement, so you can kind of make it look as you want. It looks really cool. It's got a nice sort of painterly art style to it. Cool looking music, and I think it's got fairly sort of in-depth mechanics to it. So there's a lot of depth there to what you can do to keep the city going. Make sure you've got people out there getting resources so you can carry on the building, get trades set up. And it's even got like some companions you can, I think you choose them when you pick in a map. You pick a companion you want, and you sort of, I think, use them in particular like places in the game, to improve their skills. And they've got some sort of missions based around them as well. So it sounds like there's a fair amount to it. So I think for anyone looking for a decent city builder, this is sounding quite good.
Yeah, it looks pretty good, decent. Yeah, Lauren, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, it looks nice. It looks nice. I
End review.
already have. I have the 2 Point Games, and I have Animal Crossing, which scratch any city building type itches I have. But it looks nice. It looks nice. Again, the key to this will be long tail support, like really active community managers that understand what people want and the direction to take it in, or the directions the developers could take it in. It will be very, very popular because these games always are.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's see what people said this might have got. Let's see if this has done very well. We have got good evening, Diva, by the way. Diva's here, everybody. Danka says an 8. £12.55 on Steam at the moment, says Kindred. Gozzo says an 8. Rock Muse says 7. Hannah says 8.5 because this looks pretty. Dave Johnson says an 8. Lulu says an 8. Diva says, I didn't see the trailer, but I'm going to say a 9. That's fair enough. You never know, you might get it right. Hedge your bets. Kindred says an 8. Flame, a little bit lower, 7.5. Guildfly, 7.5. Retro Jazar saying an 8. Dave, I'll start with you. Chat, get your scores in. If you haven't, you might get a shout out. What do you reckon, Dave?
I'll try an 8 for this one.
Okay, going for an 8. Big Fuzzy Panda saying a 7. Lauren?
7.
Okay, still doing the dance.
I think.
Dun, 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 dun,
I'm going to be wrong. It doesn't really matter.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? It's not often I do this. If you get it wrong, we'll still shout out in the chat about the festival. How does that sound? Because then if you get it right...
Too kind.
We'll shout about it in the
Brilliant.
Chat. In the festival.
It's a win-win.
All right, so it's a win-win.
Good.
Okay.
Lovely.
Squeaky, good evening. He said real points are 5.5, but I'm guessing on an 8. Well, we'll see. And look, it even appeared before we even announced the score. Thank you, iQual. There's a link. Go buy your tickets right now. I can tell you if there are no other scores. No, Mag, those are not the rules. I know, but it's my show. Fuck it. Break a habit of a lifetime. I can tell you that this got an 8 out of 10.
Hey.
So well done, Dave. You got that right.
Well done, Dave.
Thank you.
Lauren didn't get it right, but she gets a shout out. So go buy your tickets for Guildford Games Festival right now on the 20th of February. Go check it out.
Thank you, Says.
Amazing. It's going to be amazing. Go check out that lineup. Also, congratulations to the following people. Queeky, well done. You turned up and you got it right, mate. Well done. Retro Shazar, well done. You got it right. Kindred and Lulu. Dave Johnson, well done, sir. Gozzo and Danka, quite a few. You got that one right. I'm going to let the mods hammer through those shout outs because I realise that we are chugging on for time. So let's do our final game of the night, but not the end of the show just yet. This is another big name game that's came out last Friday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. This is Code Vein 2.
The resurgence corrupts everything it touches. In the blink of an eye, the world changed. Let's go.
Let's finish this. Never fear.
I swear that I shall heal you. 100 years of history was forever changed. It's a new future, one forged by our own hands. Take this forma. With it, you can call me to your side anytime.
We can seize the future we want! Together! Let history know your name. Let the world hear you!
I've just realised I've made an epic error, and thank you to Dave Johnson for pointing it out. iQual said, what was the score for the last game? It was an 8 out of 10. I didn't give Dave his shout out.
I thought we were just moving on so we could finish.
Well, no, bollocks to that. How do you want your shout out? We'll do this very quickly.
Do the jump up from behind the chair.
Okay,
see if Lauren can hear your knees crack.
Oh, God, my knees crack. There we go. Exclamation Dave in chat, by the way. Oh, God, dear God.
Oh, yeah, I heard that. I don't think you're getting
that
up again.
Didn't happen last week. Oh, God. Right, you ready?
Yeah.
Wow.
This isn't going to be fast. Dave!
Well done for getting up.
Bastard.
It's beautiful. How are your knees?
There you go. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Let's have a look. Danka says, still need to play the original. Just been sitting in the backlog due to the amount of hours needed. I have played this, the original, not the new one. I'll bring that comment up in a bit. No Bandai Namco jingle. No, we didn't get it this time, and I like their new jingle. His knees cracked 2 weeks ago and had a rest last week. Yeah, they didn't last week. I'm not sure if this is Temu Elden Ring or if it's good. Now, don't you regret remembering you needed his shout out? Yeah, right. F to pay respect to Mag's knees.
It's too late.
Dude, they're already gone. My next door neighbour just knocked on my door and asked what that cracking sound was.
That really made me laugh.
Well, I get a medical emergency to my house. Dave, can you tell us what this game's all about, please?
Yeah, sure. So this is an action RPG with some Souls-like combat to it. It's obviously following on from the previous game. This one's going more open world, a bit like how Elden Ring moved on from like the Dark Souls games in structure. And this game as well is incorporating like some time travel aspects to its story, because in the present day, the future of this game, everything's gone horribly wrong. So your character's getting sent back in time to try and I think find out what's happened and destroy some of the monsters back in the past before they can wreak havoc in the future. Looks okay. Graphics aren't anything particularly special. Going for an anime style to it, which you could definitely pick out in the trailer. Whilst it has got tricky Souls-like combat, the one thing you have got with you in this game, you don't get in many of the Souls-likes, I think, is an AI companion that comes into the combat with you. So if you do get beaten down, they will at least revive you once, so you get a second chance to carry on, which is quite cool, because some of these games can be a bit on the tricky side. So sometimes every bit of help is quite welcome in these. So yeah, looks all right. Another Souls-like game.
Okay, all right. I mean, Kindred said this, and I believe because I played the first one, and he's definitely right. Code Vein 1 had a linear storyline and also kind of a linear path as well, but Code Vein 2 seems to be very open world. I'm also going to bring up that some people said graphics don't look great. Lauren, what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, sequels are about trust and refinement. And it's just making sure that it's a tricky thing to do, make a super successful sequel. Especially Code Vein did so well initially that there'll be a lot of people baying for the blood of this game just to get their hands on it, just to get another taste. However, you're treading that line between an established fan base that know what they like and are coming to your game for a certain thing. But every time you release a game, you're bringing in a whole load of new people who may have heard about the first one, didn't have a chance to play it, and are expecting something entirely different. So it's another one of those expectation managing, refinement in the gameplay, but being, dare I say, respectful to your player base at the same time, which is not always an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
It looks lush. It looks like I think it looks lovely. But then maybe I wasn't paying enough attention to the graphics, and it was a little bit, balked in places. But it looks rad. It looks pretty cool.
I didn't mind the first one. It's not something that would ever stand out, but I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not really big into those kind of games, but I kind of thought it was okay. So maybe I will play this one. I don't know. Strawberry Lover says, you don't need a first aider. You have your own nurse, aka me mum. I know. Can you send Lorraine over to fix me knees? Because they're buggered now after that. Thanks. So that, or carry me out on a stretcher, one of the two. Let's have a look what people are saying scores-wise. Chat, get your scores in now. I think some people put scores quite early. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Danka saying a 7. Gozo saying a 7. Diva, who jumped over to YouTube for a minute and then back onto Twitch because it bugged out, saying 8.5. Lulu saying a 7.5. That's it at the moment. Kindred 7, Flame 7.
Kindred's message before the one you just highlighted is I've been giggling for a little while.
All the development went to the game. It went into the boobs of the characters. Oh, I missed Lulu's comment. Yeah, because she put, hang on. Where is it? I knew
jiggle physics are a thing, guys.
Boobs. 9 out of 10 needs bigger booty monsters.
Bravo.
There you go, Lulu. I should have read that.
One of the finest collections of words I've read all week. Fantastic.
You won't get anything better than that. Retro Shazar saying a 7. Rock Muse saying 7.5. Followed by a pair of boobs. Beautiful. Chat, get your scores in. Lauren, as this is the last game, I'll let you go first.
I think sequel, it's got to be a safe 7. It's got to be.
Okay.
Let me get one right, please.
Okay. Fingers crossed. It's going to be a 7. JL saying it could be a 7 as well. Dave, what say you?
I'll try 7.5.
7.5. Still doing that dance.
Yep.
Okay. Well, let's see. The game has its version of Resident Evil Dimitrescu, but with massive boobs. There you go. That makes it probably a 10 out of 10, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see. This is Code Vein 2, which came out last Friday on PS5, Xbox Series X, and S, and PC. iQual saying an 8. And I could tell you that for our last game of the night, this got an epic 6 out of 10.
Ooh. Ouch.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bendy Fan 90 live on Twitch. Thank you very much for the follow. This, yeah, people are not liking this. Even this is completely separate from the first game. So you don't need to play the first game to be able to play this one. They just said graphically it's not great. Mechanically it's not as good. Just everything about it's just a lesser sequel. So there you go. So there you go. Unfortunately, we're not going to talk about that, Bendy, because we talked about that weeks ago because the Mortal Kombat collection came out ages. We're only talking about stuff that came out this week, I'm afraid. So yeah, no one got that right. No one got that right. I hear it's not sitting too well with the hardcore, especially after a 3+ year wait. Yeah. 100 years time, travel on open world probably makes it way too far away for the original. I think this is the thing. The original fans are not loving it, which doesn't help as well.
Shame.
So it's a shame. No shout outs on that, except a shout out for our guest. There you go. There you go. Also,
Thanks,
don't do
guys.
politics unless it's to do with gaming. So sorry, you Bendy. I love the fact you follow, but you've just basically sent us 2 questions that we're never going to answer. Sorry. We don't deliver on things like that. But we do deliver on awesome events like Guildford Games Festival. Click that link. Get your tickets right now for the 20th of Feb. It's going to be amazing. Loads of great games to try out and play. Loads of great talks to go and see. It's going to be amazing. So let's move on to our final bit of the show, which is every week we have a different games chart. Last week we talked about the games that you pay on Steam chart. 2 weeks ago we did do the UK game retail chart, and I decided to come back to it again this week because it is very different. Because 2 weeks ago this was the top 10. Grand Theft Auto 5 at 10. Oh no, that's the wrong one. Whoops. Grand Theft Auto 5 at 10. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition at 9. Minecraft at 8. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at 7. EA Sports FC 26 at 6. COD Black Ops 7 at 5. Pokemon Legends Zeta A or 4. Expedition Claire Obscura Expedition 33 at 3. Animal Crossing New Horizons at 2. And Mario Kart World at 1. Massively changed up. Massively changed up. And you'll see what Lauren said earlier makes a lot of sense, because here we have the UK chart as of Saturday. At number 10, we've got a re-entry for Donkey Kong Bonanza. At number 9, we just talked about it, a new entry. We got Code Vein 2. At number 8, up 8 places from number 16, is Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2. Ghost of Yoti on PS5 has shot up 15 places to be at number 7. A non-mover at number 6 is Minecraft. GTA 5 has been slowly climbing back up the charts and has gone up 4 spaces to number 5. Number 4, a non-mover for the last couple of weeks, is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Up 2 places is Pokemon Legends Zeta A. Animal Crossing did drop from its entry point 2 weeks ago to number 3, but is back to number 2 and gone up 1 place. And still at number 1 is Mario Kart World. And you look at that and you go, nearly all Nintendo games.
7 out of 10. It's
Yeah.
mad.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But
I still can't
and
believe
this is
people
it.
don't fully own GTA 5 by now.
I know.
think we'll still be buying this after all this time.
And FIFA that was doing well, or it's not FIFA, EA Sports, that's now out of there. We saw a couple of other new entries that came in. They're all out. So it's just been massively. I wasn't even aware that there was a Switch sale, but I think it just shows more people are buying Switch 2. And for the fact that I've seen lots of adverts recently for Donkey Kong Bonanza again. Like, even though it came out 6 months ago, there's a lot of adverts for it. So people are obviously going out and buying it. So that's it there. And the Mario Galaxy as well. You know, that was, I wanted to get that and I never got around to getting it. And that's, shot up the charts.
We had the new trailer. Was it last week?
Yeah. So I think that's inspired a lot of people for the
minds.
film. Yeah. So the film trailer, that's
not.
definitely, you hit the nail on the head there, Dave. There you go. FIFA only popular when it
Amazing.
first comes out. Then last 2 versions die pretty quick. Has been horrendous. Yeah. So there you go.
Well, I got to say, when you sent the email around saying, "Oh, we'll go over the top 10," I thought, "Oh God, here we go. This is where I'm reminded how out of touch I am and how many games I should be playing that I'm not." I am playing numbers 1 and 2 from the current UK top chart.
Yeah. So there you go.
So cool.
There you go. We
I'm so
make
happy.
magic happen on this show. There you go.
It's just a delightful way to have a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Just about still is, yeah. But yeah, Mario Kart World still knocking it out of the park. Has been number 1 for the last couple of months.
Right.
Doing very, very well. So on next week's show, we will have another chart for you. I'm toying with the worldwide chart, or maybe the Steam including free games, because I said last week the Steam with free games was very different to the Steam for paid games chart. So one of them two is going to appear in next week's show. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show. Thank you so much to all of you, as always, for watching on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you for being here. Thank you to all the mods for doing a wonderful job and doing all the shout outs. Can we get another shout out? Indeed, another shout out for our wonderful guest, the wonderful Lauran, from Guildford Games Festival. And wearing the t-shirt wrong way. Liquid Crimson, lot. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Yay! Look, wearing the brand. Wearing the brand.
Oh, there you go. Matching.
Get your tickets
But thank
now.
you so much for having me, guys. And chat, thank you for being so welcoming and friendly and lovely. This has been an absolute joy. Loved it.
No, you've been an absolute awesome guest. And again, I honestly mean this. I can't wait for your event. I can't wait, because I genuinely had so many people saying so many good things about it over the last couple of years. So I'm really looking forward to being there.
Oh,
so,
dude, thank you so much. I'm so excited.
It's gonna be awesome.
Lovely.
Gonna be awesome. As always, Dave, thank you so much for being our co-host. And yeah, next week's show, we will be back with more games, more gaming news. And our guest will be Alex, who runs Bristol Video Games Expo, which is actually the week after Lauren's event, which is on Saturday the 28th, which is another event Muggins Ear is going to be at. Another wonderful event, because we want to try and promote as many gaming events, because we've lost a lot. So over the last couple of years, so let's keep promoting gaming events, people, and keep going to them. They rely on us to attend them. Please, please, please support these events. It's important. So we will be back with a show next week on 9 o'clock. Also, tomorrow night, we are playing a game we talked about on last week's show, and everyone can join in. 2XKO, the new fighting game, which is free to play on PC, and it's cross-platform on PS5, Xbox. If you want to join in tomorrow night on stream on TikTok and Twitch, 8:30 for that. And then Thursday, I'm playing a brand new game, which we haven't talked about on this show, called The Perfect Pencil, a really cool indie game, which I've been getting a lot of emails about. I was like, do you know what? I'll give it a whirl. I'll be playing that on Thursday night on TikTok and Twitch at 8:30. Let's do this. Oh, can we give Kindred also a community member of the month shout out? Because Kindred is our community member, so he gets a shout out regardless on every stream as well, because he won that yesterday, voted by the chat. And we are going to raid anyone watching on YouTube. It'll just end. Sorry, that's how YouTube works. But we are going to go raid someone on Twitch. Thank you very much. You've been a pleasure to watch, Lauren, says Lulu. You seem very lovely and bubbly. There you go. There you go. Dave Johnson says, I'm not usually not friendly. Boo, Dave. Dave's getting all the boos tonight. Makes a change. It's normally me. Let's see who's on. Thank you for the follow, Lauren. Greatly appreciate that. Should we do it? Oh, God. Oh, a couple of people. Oh, God, this is going to be... there's loads of people on that I could raid.
Just close your eyes and pick one.
Oh, Jesus. There's 2 pages on the stream deck, mate. That's like nearly 64 people to... let's go into the... Do you know what? Someone we haven't raided in this year yet. That makes it easy. The wonderful Ember, who is a big fan of indie games. And she is playing... You what? Please don't be playing Fortnite or something like that. That'd be hilarious. She is playing Escape from Ever After, which we talked about on the show last week, which got really good reviews because it got a... He says, he refers back to his script, an 8.5 out of 10 on the show last week. So let's go raid the wonderful Ember. So if I press that button, that will start. That raid will start once the end credits are rolled. And all that leaves for me to say is, because the technology is working, Wherever you are in the world watching this, have a great morning, a great afternoon, or a great evening, and I shall see you back tomorrow at 8:30 for some 2XKO fighting action. From me, Lauren, and Dave, I'm going to get us to do that thing where we wave and I press the button. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
I'm out to fight.